My dear friends, since tonight is the night after Shavuot, so therefore it's important that we continue in the theme of Shavuot. What's the theme of Shavuot? The whole Shir Hashirim that Shlomo Melech wrote was experiencing the experience of Matan Torah. That's the whole Shir Hashirim. So this ma'amar that we're doing tonight is in chapter 1 of Shir Hashirim, Pasuk 15. It says, Hinech Yafa Rayasi, you're beautiful, my bride. Yafe Inayich, your eyes are beautiful. Yoinim, Yoinim is like a yonah, which is a bird, yonah, a dove. So it says twice in this pasuk, beautiful. What is it talking about? It's talking about that Am Yisrael, when Hashem took them out of when Am Yisrael took them out of Mitzrayim, when Hashem took them out of Mitzrayim and gave them the Torah, Am Yisrael wasn't so. They weren't so good. Meaning, it wasn't such a great experience. But still, Hashem showed them that He cares about them, even though there were things and also they weren't. They didn't do everything Hashem wanted them. It wasn't like. But still, Hashem says you're beautiful.
Then I easy cry.
Right.
Of course, after what happened.
Yeah. So the question is, Hine inyan hakefel beis pa'aman hinech yafa. Why does it say twice in the same pasuk, you're a beautiful person and beautiful eyes? So he says, the reason it says twice, echad keneged nasa,
One inside, one
ve'echad keneged nishma. Now what is nasa? Nasa means that whatever Hashem tells us we're going to do.
You do.
The second thing is that we're also going to learn and understand. So the one nice is for the nasa, and the second nice is for the nishma. Number 2, it says Vihini Rayasi. Who does Rayasi go on? The Jewish people are God's bride. You know, Rayati. But Rayati yesh bo shnei perushim. The translation of Rayati has 2 translations. Listen to this.
Oh, my wife.
Oh,
No, he say my wife.
The wife is Am Yisrael.
זה לא my wife, זה השם. מדבר עם עם ישראל.
עם ישראל זה אשתו של השם.
אשתו של השם?
עם ישראל, כן. So, Rayati has 2 translations. One is, like we spoke about last week, a few weeks ago, on the pasuk Shir Hashirim Lissusi Rayati. It comes from the word mefarnastihem.
Susi or Susati?
Susati.
למה סוסתי?
Wait, sheyiru oisi b'shnei tefillin b'chol yom. The Jewish people are the rayati of Hashem.
Okay.
They give and feed Hashem. Kemo royeh ne'eman. Royeh is the shepherd.
אבל למה סוסתי?
1 second. So Yeshavua Shnei Shavua. Yeah, we'll get to it. No, 1 second. So here he's saying is, when Hashem says, Hine Yafech Yariyati, that means you, the Jewish people, are Hashem's Rayati. They feed Hashem. They sustain Hashem. How is that? Sheyiru oisi b'shnei timidim b'chol yom. Hashem says to the Jewish people, I need you to feed me.
Korbanot.
Bring me twice a day a korban. In the morning and in the afternoon. That's shachrit and mincha. V'amur Razal, Yisrael mefarnesin la'avim shabashamayim. The Bnei Yisrael, they feed and they sustain and they nourish Hashem. So that's...
If they behave. When they behave.
When they behave. Not if they behave, when they behave. Now, so Roya means we are the Roya of Hashem. we give Hashem food, we give Hashem sustenance. 1 minute. Then it says, Roye Yisrael Hazinu. Roye Shehu Yisbarach Roye Vafarnis Neshama Soul. Then we have a pasuk that says Hashem gives us sustenance.
Hashem Roye Yisrael.
Okay, but in this pasuk, Hine Yafech Ra'ayeti is going on Am Yisrael, and Hashem is saying to them, you're beautiful, and you're my Ra'ayeh. You're sustaining me. In the other place in the Torah, it says Hashem sustains us. So how does it work? Ro'einu, Zoinenu, Parnasenu. What does Ro'einu mean?
Ro'einu is our shepherd.
Our shepherd. Zonenu,
feed us.
and Parnasenu. So one translation of the word Ra'ayati means Ro'eh. Ro'etzon. Okay, so either we feed Hashem or Hashem feeds us. Right? However, there's another translation of the word Ra'ayati. What other translation? Upirish Hasheni hukipshutoi lashon re'ut.
Oh.
What does re'ut mean?
Friendship.
Friendship. Ava kameshekosov. The next column. Oy re'acha asher kenafshecha. Man achai v'reyai ze doidi v'ze rei. So you got it?
Yeah.
Two things. We sustain. You need a kippah? Yeah. We sustain Hashem. That means we give Hashem food, and we are also Hashem's friend. Rei is like my friend. So Hashem calls us two things.
Yes. Thank you. Sure?
Yes.
Otherwise I have a hat.
So we have two translations. Roi, that the Jew is the Ro'eh Shel Hashem. Number two, the Jew is Rei, Hashem's friend. How do you become Hashem's friend?
Oh, first of all, you have to follow the laws or Hashem.
I think we're born like this, you know. We're born
to be Hashem's friend.
Yeah.
So he says
to keep it and maintenance it.
So the first thing he's going to first explain one thing.
Okay.
What does it mean that we feed Hashem? With the Ra'ayati, we're giving Hashem sustenance. Does it make sense?
No.
Oh, so he says, "Kamoy derech Moshe lamata, shehiskashus vehischabrus haneshama imaguf ha'yedei hamazon, kesheoichel lachmoi shemizbarer ha'achila b'meya b'birur achabirur ad she'amuvcha sheb'mayachel nesapach l'dam ha'nefesh v'oila l'lev ma'lev oila amuvcha l'mayach." Guys, when you eat food, why do you eat?
To bless.
Sustain.
What does the food do?
Food is energy, so we can.
It's feeding the neshama at the end of the day.
The food is helping that our neshama could stay in our body.
Right.
The neshama is a neshama without the food.
Right.
But in order for the neshama to stay in the body, when we eat, we create the edim. Edim is the vapor. Kamo edim shel cloud, steam. Yes. That gives the place where the neshama could stay in. So our food is helping the neshama connect to the guf.
חיות לגוף ולנשמה.
אבל זה נותן power that the neshama could stay into the guf. Because if we won't eat, the neshama is going to slowly just leave the guf. And it'll go wherever. But the food, what does the food do? It gets the neshama to stay into the guf. Sustain in the guf. Think what he says now. Kamoi ken yumil lamayla. Look at this and that. Neshama is your soul. Guess what? Or Ein Sof, the light of Hashem has Ein Sof. Ein Arich Klal. V'gam kol anitzon v'alchal irak m'chinis machshava achas levad. Guess what? Hashem is infinite. And I want to get Hashem to come down to this world to give energy to the world. Just like your neshama to come into the body. Why do you want your neshama in the body? So it gives it energy. How do you do it? By eating. And by eating, it brings your neshama connects it into the body. The same thing, Hashem is infinite. How do we connect infinite into this world?
We need to do
We need to feed it.
The Jewish people feed. What do you mean they feed him? By them doing Torah mitzvahs, they are able to get the Ein Sof, the infinite light, into this world, like bring the neshama into the world. We're like the food that through Hashem having the mitzvot and Torah that we do, it's like the food of the soul, so now the soul could come into the body, so Hashem, the soul, could come into the world. If we wouldn't do Torah mitzvahs, the energy of Hashem would leave this world and the world wouldn't exist. Because Hashem's energy is Ein Sof, it's infinite. So we have to bring it down here. That's why we're Ra'ayati Parnasati means by us learning Torah and doing mitzvahs, what are we accomplishing? That the infinite light of Hashem could come into the world and stay here.
So in theory, if let's assume, everyone will stop to do mitzvot, all the Jewish, so that's it.
Exactly. It's like stopping to eat. If you stop eating, what happens? The neshama leaves.
So the entire
100%. The good thing is that Hashem makes sure that there should always be Jews doing Torah mitzvahs. So, because Hashem doesn't want the life to stop. But if we wouldn't, the infinite light would just go back up. It's like we learned a few Maimonim about a fire.
Yes.
You remember we learned that it has to have oil, and there's a wick. If you don't have oil, the fire just disappears. Hashem is that fire that's infinite. And we have to bring that into the world. The oil is the mitzvot. So by putting oil, we sustain the Ein Sof light in this world. So we are feeding Hashem. What are we feeding Hashem? Because of us, we're giving Hashem the food, so to say, that the infinite light of Hashem can come to the world. Just like when you eat, your neshama could come into your body and stay into your body. We are giving Hashem the ability that the Ein Sof could come into the world. It makes sense? It fits?
But it's less for us and more
24
for
hours.
others, right? It's less for us and more for others around us, right? I mean,
It's for us also. We need to live also. We need to have
I think the opposite. It's more for us and it's for
the Jewish
the
people.
Jews is what keeps
He
the
means the
world.
Jewish people.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking more like
The
the highest form of tzedakah is the one that's
Okay, yeah. They're giving to others.
without even the acknowledgement of yourself.
But
right?
here is more. Here it's not so much of the other or not. Here it's how do we sustain the infinite light of God in this world? How do we keep it here?
Torah mitzvot. That's it.
So by us doing Torah mitzvahs, the light stays here, and that helps the whole world.
Right. Huh?
Because if that's not here, we're dead.
Right.
There's no life. There's no life. There's no life. That's why the
That means
first
that you can never stop
Torah
mitzvot.
mitzvah. Yeah.
That's the oxygen of
the world.
That's
Yeah.
it.
There's no way to stop. So now look what he says first, later. Shemachshava zu, what got Hashem to want this world? Like what got his like
להטיב לנברא.
what?
To give, to
But he needs it.
does he need it?
Doesn't
Could he be Hashem without it?
He was.
No.
He was.
No.
He always is.
Hashem must have the Jews.
No, but
No.
How you can be a king without people?
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. You have to... מלך יכול להיות בלי
שום דבר, אבל אם הוא רוצה באמת להיות מלך,
מלך יכול להיות בלי
So let me tell you. When you're speaking about the essence of Hashem, Anochi doesn't need anything. What do you mean it doesn't need anything? Hashem doesn't have to be king. Hashem doesn't need a world.
Exists without.
Hashem doesn't need anything. He is the way he is without anything. As the Rambam says, Mitziusoi miatzmusoi. His whole existence is him. It doesn't add anything that we're here or we're not here. But
think so?
Hashem, for sure. Hashem had a thought called Ano Emloch. Listen to this. A very interesting thing. Ano means I. Emloch, I want to become a king. He doesn't have to become a king. But this machshava, this thought that Hashem put into the thought, that's the source of this whole creation. That machshava, that ana emloch, I want to be a king. That thought that Hashem emanated, that's the source of the whole creation.
You could do it only with malachim. Why you need this word?
It's not the same.
No, malachim is
It's not the
boring,
same.
very boring.
The roboting.
No, because malachim, there's no challenge.
Right, the roboting.
What is a malach? A malach has no temptations, doesn't have any
Right.
a robot.
Any choice?
choice.
It's a robot.
When Moshe
But
went
still,
to
they
get
say every time.
A1.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Kavod Malchuto.
no.
They're doing a lot of good stuff.
What's the big thing? What's the big thing? You know, a malach to say it. What else should he do? No, meaning
Ein
it
Breira.
doesn't have a seichel to think that maybe I should pick something else. There's no bchira. It's like an animal, a holy animal. Let's say chayot hakodesh. The holy animals. The animal has no. So machshava achas levad. Look at this. One thought. What's the thought? Ana emlech. God says, I want to be a king. Machshava zu chayit kol ha'olamot. This thought is the energy for all the worlds. Without this thought, there's no existence.
Right, because there's no.
That's why it's called Achat Hi Yonoti. This is the Yonah, I mean, this one thought that Hashem wants to be a king, and that therefore He made the world. That's what sustains this world. The problem is that what happens to continue sustaining the world. So yes, I decide I want a world. Good, you make a world. But who's going to keep the fire burning? Who's going to keep the Ein-Sof light in this world?
Ra'ayati.
Who is that? Ra'ayati. You guys, Ra'ayati. Ra'ayati, all of us. So He took us out of Egypt. He says, Hine yafa Ra'ayati. You, Ra'ayati. You're my Ra'ya. You keep me sustained here. I originally decided this, Ano Emloch. That's how it started. But who sustains it? Who continues it? Who makes it more advanced? That's the Ra'ayati. You're my Ra'ya. You're my thing.
He looked at you.
Al derech zeh, he says, Kol oirach zman shechur Beis HaMikdash. You know that the whole 2,000 years from when the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed till now is like around 2,000 years. For Hashem, it's kerega echad. How do you know? Histarti panai rega mimech. Histarti panai rega mimech. Hashem says, I'm hiding my face from you for one rega. It's 2,000 years, one rega. I feel bad for 1 minute. That's it. Elef shanim kemo.
That's it. Kemo tomorrow.
Yeah, one day. What did the guy ask Hashem for the $100 million? Hashem said, "Can I have Hashem?" Hashem said, "No problem. Tomorrow." Anyways, the point is, you know, it's 1,000 years. 1,000 years. Yeah. The beginning of creation, Hashem did chesed chinam. Chesed chinam means no one awakened him and no one inspired him to do this. It was Va'achshav. Now, tzrichim lamshichai. We need to draw down haratzon lehislabish machshava. We have to continue to Hashem to want to still be the king. Because if that thought is gone, there's no world.
Keep the fire burning.
We have to keep Hashem wanting that He should want to be the king of the world. That's what we do on Rosh Hashanah. The whole Rosh Hashanah is this theme. Please, Hashem, I want you to want to be a king. Because if you're not going to want to be a king, there's no world here. That's the machshava that keeps this world
You're
exalted.
making him a kid.
How do we have the power to do that? Interesting. In machshava, there's two levels. There's the machshava to create the world, and then there's the olu b'machshava. We are above.
הרצון.
Right? We're above it, and since we're above it, כמוי שהידי וזהו עניין שישראל מפרנסין. What does it mean מפרנסין? שממשיכים גילוי אור אינסוף במחשב אלוה, כמוי שהידי המייכל מסחזק המויח. When you eat, your brain gets stronger. שהרי זה סחבס הנשום המויח, ומהמויח turn the page to 70, מספשת הלב, and then כחי למעלה, במחשבה. So by us, our job is to be ra'ayati, to give Hashem the sustenance, to want to be a king, and to continue his wanting to create this world. Second thing is, how do we do that? Hapirish Hasheni, what's the second translation of the word ra'ayati? Ava v'reyut. What does that mean? Shalidei shemo'er b'chenes haratzon le'el v'shaloi le'ez chafetz ratzon acher. Mili b'shamayim al deizeh mo'erim gam kein ratzon ha'elyon sheyasvu atzatz machshava zu. Which means, there's one more thing Hashem needs you to do. Be his friend. Now let me explain you what a good friend is. You want to hear a good friend? Rei. Rei is like a friendship.
Right.
What's a good friend? What's a good friend? Be'emet. The Torah says a good friend is someone
It's there for you.
that you feel like David and Jonathan. It says, Nafshi kshuroi benafshoi.
Wow.
It's like you almost feel that you could just open up your heart to them, and they're here to connect you and to sustain and make everything. How many friends do we have like that? One, a half, or two. The Torah says, halavai, halavai.
We wish to have more than one.
We should have one friend. Halavai. Kanei lecha chaver. So what is Hashem asking us? He says, be my friend. Let me be my friend. Just like a friend, a real friend. They're always thinking about their friend. They're not going to go and turn to someone else. My friend is everything.
Loyalty.
Loyalty. Hashem asks you, be loyal to me. Let's be friends. Don't start looking elsewhere. Don't look elsewhere. When it says, "En lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim," right? You're allowed to say Elohim because it's not Hashem.
Right.
It doesn't mean Jews are going to worship idols. That's not what. Jews don't worship idols. It means don't look elsewhere for a connection. Be loyal to God. God is your. Let's be like a friend, loyal. Just like a loyal friend doesn't turn somewhere else, so too we shouldn't turn anywhere else. It's all Hashem. You get me a little what I'm saying?
Of course,
So that's the second thing. Ra'ayati means you're sustaining Hashem. How? By being a rei, being loyal to Hashem. When you're loyal to Hashem, then you can be ra'ayati. However, he says, there's two types of, how do you say, loyalty. There's two types of loyalty. Ne'emanut. That's od bet. V'hine ksiv raf yafe at ra'ayati k'ifat, it says. You know what tirtza means?
When you want.
Oh, k'sha'at rotza.
When you want.
You're beautiful when you want.
Well, here you're going to see something very interesting. There's two ratzons in a person. There's two wants. There is external and there is
Eternal.
the real want. I'll give you just interesting halacha. We learned it in Rambam just recently. If a Jew, it says according to Torah that when you give a get to the wife, you have to do it beratzon. That means the husband has to want to do it.
Right.
Because it says, because of law, sefer krisut, v'nasan, he has to want to do it. What happens if the husband doesn't want it? So,
You have them.
American one.
All right. The wife thinks
American one.
so they're not,
I didn't know that was an option.
no, but here the Rambam says a very interesting thing. Koifin oisoi, ad sheyoyme roitzani. You force him till he says he wants. But the truth is, it sounds a little
כן,
funny.
אבל זה קרה בישראל, אתה יודע. שהרבה גברים לא נתנו גט.
כן.
אישה עגונה.
לא, אישה עגונה. כופים אותו עד שהוא רוצה. לא, רוצה. עכשיו יצא בית משפט, אז מה... ונתנו בבית משפט שכן הוא יכול לתת את הגט תוך צ'יק צ'אק. אין בעיות. גם אם הוא יושב 20 שנה בבית סוהר.
Okay, well, listen to the point. The problem is when you say you want,
and you don't.
and you're not really wanting. The fact that you say you want, it doesn't mean you want. You know, it's like saying, "I want to," but you don't really want to.
Exactly.
So you know what the Rambam says? Yesh shnei retzonot. There's the inner ratzon and there's the exterior ratzon. And the Rambam writes like this: Kol Yisrael. Mahu rotzeh be'emet. What does he really want? To do the right thing. Okay, and since the right thing in this case is to give the get, so the fact that he says, I don't want, is not really the true ratzon. The real ratzon is he wants to do the right thing. The fact that he's saying he doesn't want to, that's not really who he is. So what do? Kofin means we force to get the true ratzon out.
Sometimes coffee,
You understand? So you get it. Whatever you do, the idea is now he's going to really want what he always wanted. But he didn't have that want revealed.
He didn't know that he wants.
Exactly. So the ratzon, the true ratzon. So this is what he says. Very interesting. Vehinik siv od bet on page 70. Yesh beis b'chinas v'ratzon. There's two levels in ratzon. Ha'alef hu ratzon ha'shere b'moiche b'helam. In your brain, right here, in your mind, there's a will that's there b'helem. Kishi is boinen. When you think, v'gdulat ein sol baruch hu, you think, wow, look how great Hashem is infinite. Nolad, that thinking creates v'nis orer ha'ratzon b'moiche. You have a desire. You know what I really want to do? I want to connect to Hashem. It's all in your mind. And that's called the Lashon HaKodesh Ratzon. But this will stays in your mind. It doesn't go into the heart. You ever heard? It's called, I want intellectually. But it's not yet, I don't feel it. Then there is another Ratzon. Kesha Ratzon nimshach b'gilui b'lev mamash. When you feel it in your heart, azai, then it's called Ru'uta de Liba. The will of your heart. What's the difference? V'hu targum shel ratzon shel lashon hakodesh, k'moy she'targum in yonei pirush shel lashon hakodesh ki'ilu targum erusa de liba ze ha'gilui shel haratzon shebemoyach, k'shemizgala haratzon v'nimshech b'leiv ze gilui yoseh sha'leiv gashmi v'karv yisrael d'barot. Intellectually, a lot of people know intellectually it's the right thing to do. But they don't feel it.
Emotion.
There's intellectual will and there's emotional will.
Or they don't feel if someone blocked them.
Right, for sure. They don't. There's no feeling. It's just I know I should want, but I don't. It doesn't really. There's a famous expression in Chassidut that a lot of times a person goes to a doctor. And the doctor says to him, if you're going to smoke, it's not good. And he shows him all the pictures of the lungs. And then right after the doctor's appointment, he goes across the street, orders pizza, Coke, and a cigar. What does it mean? He understood in his mind that no good smoking, but his heart still doesn't feel it. So, I'm saying, it's like your wife telling you, and you understand it's right, but it doesn't,
זה אגו.
Yeah,
זה אגו.
I don't know.
זה כן הוא מרגיש כמו יותר טוב. אי אפשר, מי שמעשן, יש לו אגו בתוך הגוף. זה לא יעזור לך ואתה לא תוריד ואתה תעשה לך.
No.
רצון נורא לי.
הרצון, לא?
נורא לי.
Now listen to this.
וואלה, אני בא איתך.
So what does Hashem say? Hashem says, I want you to be my friend. What does it mean, my friend? וזהו בחינת רעייתי, רעות וחיבה רעותה דליבה. I want the friendship should be from your heart. יפה את רעייתי כתרצה. בחינת הרצון שבמוח should come into the heart. And now, and that's what we say every morning in the Shema. We say, V'ahavta v'chol levavcha.
Yeah.
Levavcha means bet levavcha. Two hearts. What mean two? It's not enough to love Hashem in your mind, but you have to bring it in the heart. And that's why the word V'ahavta, the numerical value of the word V'ahavta is 2 times light. Or is light.
Right.
207 times 2
514.
is V'ahavta, is 514. Why? Because your love should not only be in your mind, but you should also bring the light in your heart. It's a double light. Here, and then bring it into here. So when a Jew loves Hashem, not only here, but also here, Al Yidei Shel Neshamas Yisrael Misoirim B'moach Valev Ra'yati Ketirza. Guess what you do? Al Yidei Zeh Mo'orerim Kein L'mayla. Since you love Hashem and you're His friend with your heart, you're going to awaken Hashem to have Ra'yati Parnasasi Kamosha Meichel Goydem Shispashus V'Schabros Hanashama Mamayach. Just like when you eat, the neshama comes into the brain, and then after it goes to the brain, where does it go? To the heart, and then to the heart to all the limbs. Kach, by us being Ra'yati, being Hashem's friend, we bring the Ein Sof light into the Chachma and into the whole world. Make sense now? V'hainu al dezek shenshim v'ayimcha azay nimshach gam b'chol Allah, gam b'chol neshamas Yisrael. והוא כמיה דרך משהו כמשחזק המייך דמייך ונמשך בהחייס אזי נמשך המשפשך דמייך לכל לוי הגוף אף בבחינת סגליים שיש הכוח אוויר מהגלוב ורם בכל צער וכל שם מגלתקה ביד במייכי. The interesting thing is a foot, if you have a pain in your foot, right away your brain feels the pain. But that's if the foot is connected to the brain. What's the joke?
How could it be not connected?
I'll tell you.
It's not a good situation.
Sometimes a person has
Are we talking about a healthy body?
not healthy. What is it called? No, but when the person doesn't feel his pain, they have like
the nerve, like a ghost.
No, there's an illness. What is it called? That you don't feel your pain. Your sugar. There's people that
but usually the
diabetes, diabetic. They don't feel a lot of times the pain. They could have a hole in their leg. They don't feel the pain.
Also nerve injuries.
The nerves. Why? Because the connection to the brain is not connecting. No, I'm just saying.
That's a sick person.
A sick person. So, but a Jew has to make sure that we should connect to Hashem and bring Hashem into this world all the way in, even into the foot. That means even to the lowest level. It should be connected. You understand? It shouldn't be a disconnect. כשנמשך אין סוף לסמאש אבינו והצדיקים נקרבניו כברא כדאבוה ובבחינת סגל שנסלבש אוי נסב מחר לא אזי נסלבש לכלי סגל שהמחשבה נמשך לרגל to do what Hashem wants. So, והיינו דווקא כשנסלבש אוי נסב בחכמה אלוה אזי נקרא אבינו וזהו שאומרים אבינו מלכנו רעיינו פירוש שזהו שנקרא הקדוש ברוך הוא רויה שמפרנס הנשמות, he feeds the souls, שנמשך המלך החמאסי, רבי נזברך הנשמות שהם חנסגל. What we say in the Ashe every day, פוסח את ידיך ומשביע לכל חרצה. What does it mean? Who should open up whose hands?
פותח את ידיך,
Who are we talking to?
Hashem.
That's the only one we're talking about.
Right? פותח את ידיך. We ask Hashem to open up his hands. ומשביע לכל חרצה. What does it mean? What kind of hands does Hashem have? We do like this just to, to say. But it's not. We're talking to Hashem, so He says Yodecha comes from the word Yud. Yudecha. What's Yudecha? The letter Yud. What does the letter Yud represent? Chachma. So we say, Hashem, open up your Chachma. Bring the Ein Sof light into your Chachma. Umazbiah, and you'll give sustenance l'chol chai to everyone, ratzon, anyone that needs. We are helping you to bring the Ein Sof into your Chachma, the Yudecha, Umazbiah, and through that, it'll give sustenance to all the limbs and the whole body, just like in your brain, where your soul is in your brain, and from the brain, it goes to the heart. From the heart, it goes to all the limbs. So Hashem, please open up Yudecha, your mind. We're going to bring the Ein Sof light into your Chachma. From the Chachma, put it into the Bina, into the Evarim, and give it to the whole world.
That's one way of looking at it.
How's the other way?
The other way is Yadecha. Simple.
Who's Yadecha?
God. Open your hands and feed us.
But Hashem doesn't have hands,
זה אנחנו פותחים בשבילו.
אבל יש לו סימבולי.
I understand. It's a mashal.
Yeah, but we...
Metaphorically, we know that the God, we look like God, right? So if we have heads and head and limbs, and He has them too.
Yeah. And guess what? We say after Posech Hasidecha, what do we say after that? No, that's... No, I understand, but what's the next pasuk in Asher? Tzadik Hashem. And then it says like this: Ritzon Yireyav Yaseh Ve'et Shavasam Yishma. What does that mean? We say to Hashem, do the will of your Yireyav, which is the Jewish Am Yisrael. Ve'et Shavasam Yishma Ve'yoshiyem. What does it mean? We are awakening in Hashem to have the will to want to bring and give us Yadecha Mazbiah L'chol Chai Ratzon Ritzon Yire'av. Do what the Bnei Yisrael want, because we are Mefarnesim. We are giving you the power to bring the Ein Sof light Mazbiah L'chol Chai Ratzon and give the energy to everyone. You get how it works? Now goes the interesting thing. How do you look beautiful? Because He calls us beautiful.
Because we are beautiful.
I know, but what makes you look beautiful? No, Bemet, let's...
I'm thinking.
What? So
looking in the mirror, that's what I see.
He says it.
That's why he has Photoshop. Excellent Photoshop.
So I'll tell you an interesting thing. In Torah, to become, like, let's take Rachel. It says Yifei Toyar, Yifei Mara. By Yosef, it says Yifei Toyar, Yifei Mara. By Yosef. What does it mean in Torah when you say someone is beautiful? What is it? How do you express to someone and say you're beautiful? That what?
So that's יפה תואר ויפת מראה.
Let's do mara.
יפה תואר, מראה זה פנים.
But it's the energy. In and out.
לא, ויפה תואר זה הפנימיות. יפה מראה זה...
So I'll tell you an interesting thing. When you say someone looks beautiful in a physical sense, let's not go spiritually.
Yeah.
What makes someone look beautiful? I'll tell you why I'm asking the question.
I'll tell you.
Let's say you're Ashkenazi. Let's say.
Too much makeup.
No, wait. Let's say you're Ashkenazi, meaning you grew up in a community where everyone looks white. No, and everyone has blue eyes, whatever, blonde. And then you see a Sephardi. Does that look beautiful to you?
Yes, Sephardi always.
No, but I'm saying.
You want the truth or you want the black? You're talking about the truth, Sephardi is always beautiful.
The way המדע define יופי is when someone has like symmetry. Exactly, everything is
The distance between the eyes, the cheeks.
So I'll tell you an interesting thing. We didn't speak about it, but maybe on Shabbat it says there's an argument between Shammai and Hillel when you go to a wedding. A very serious argument. You remember that? Let's say you go to a wedding and the Kala does not look beautiful. No, meaning she doesn't.
Yeah.
What do you tell the Chatan? So so Hillel says Yafeh, you tell the Chatan Yafeh l'chasuda. Beautiful. And Shammai says Yafeh kemo shehi. She's beautiful the way she is.
Yeah, the way she is.
Listen to this. Why? Because the Gemara says that a person that's marrying someone that to you doesn't look beautiful, but for them, she is beautiful. So the way she is, for you, it's good. But doesn't mean good for me. But that's not when you say Rachel haya yifat toar, v'yifat mareh, Rachel was so beautiful, it meant everyone felt she was beautiful. So you know what the Torah says? A person, to make a person beautiful, a person has 7 different types of midot.
That's right. That's the word I was looking.
Midot means character traits. Attributes, character traits.
Right.
And listen to this.
What is that?
If you have too much chesed, then you're white. We're still going to see white. White is a nice color. You know, Shabbos, you have white tablecloths. But it gets dirty quickly, but it's nice for Shabbos.
Too much gvura?
Too much gvura is red.
Oh, red. Yeah, okay, down. Yeah.
And then you have the center, which is called Tif'eres, which is the multicolor, which is exactly symmetric, that all the colors is punked exactly what you need, and not too much of white, not too much of red, not too much of blue,
very balanced.
Just very balanced. That makes it most beautiful. So when a person has all his 7 character traits balanced perfect, now you're beautiful.
Now do what's fine, yeah.
You understand the point? So now listen, what's interesting. Like I always say, people, this is an interesting concept. When you go to, let's say, Muncie, and they have girls' schools that have 2,000 girls in the school. You know,
Yeah.
You go when all the girls go home. Thousands of girls walking home. There's like a chain. A chain is like you look at the girl, you see like almost like a shine of Hashem. The beauty there is not a beauty of a physical beauty. It's a beauty, but I don't know, I can't explain. It's like a chain. Pureness that just shines from them. Like you just want to look at the ray of Hashem shining from them. You understand? The purity.
It's like they call it the aura.
The aura of the beauty.
It's like the energy comes out.
It's not the yofi.
It's the energy. The energy.
So he says here, when Hashem says the Jews are beautiful, and we're ra'ayati, we're his wife, what does it mean beautiful? We're multicolored. We're able to make a balance. Not too much chesed, not too much gevura, not too much rachamim. We know how to make a balance. That's ra'ayati, yafer ra'ayati. You're beautiful because you know how to balance it out.
Because you mix
חצי ספרדי, חצי אשכנזי, בדיוק.
You mix it and you get beauty.
Look what he says. Gimel. Pirish k'moy shalabata begashmius. It's page 71, the left column, the second. You see it? Iker hayoifi. What makes something beautiful? Hu betzir umaret. Hakoil gimel gavanim yachad. White, what did I say? White, red, blue. She'oz hu iker hanoy v'ateferes. He's going to say the 3 colors now. Ve'im derech kal gimel gavanim lavan. Adom and yarok. Yarok usually, it's more like a tchelet, like a kind of turquoise, yeah. Kashehin nechlalim yachad. When these 3 colors are balanced together, hatziur noe umuhuder. then it's a beautiful painting. Masha'en ken gavan levad. Let's say you just have white. Or Adon levad. Ein boy shlemis hataferes. It's not. That's why it says Kemade Hakeshes B'toch Ha'anan Kemade Kohen Goadol. That what's a keshet? A keshet is 7 color, right? So the beauty of a keshet is that it's balanced. You don't see more red or more. It's all 7 in a nice balanced way. So when a person has all 7 color, then you could say Kemade Hakeshet B'toch Ha'anan. You're like the rainbow in the middle of the cloud. When the Kohen Gadol used to walk out Yom Kippur, everyone looked at him like the Keshet B'toch Ha'anan, because he was exactly so beautiful. Everything was so good.
So how many multicolor came from Lavan? Multicolor.
Well, they say that how does a rainbow come from the sun? You remember how they say it?
The refraction.
Because really the sun has multicolor.
Right.
But since the sun, you can't see the color, so by reflecting through the clouds, it's not the clouds that's giving the color. It's the shine of the sun that's reflected to the cloud, and now you see the 7 colors in the sun, of the sun. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, but what it actually is the mist and the air. That's what actually.
But what is the color? The mist or the shine of the sun that shines through?
Together with the wave. Without the mist, you're not going to have it.
Yeah, but the mist reveals the 7 colors that the sun has.
Okay, so what's the purpose of the mist? Because without the mist, you will never see it.
It is able to extract the colors that is hidden in the sun.
Okay.
That's what.
Is he talking about a person as a person, or is he talking about the people,
the Jewish people?
The Jewish people.
Knesset Yisrael, when a person, a Jew, just loves God, that's called white. Because it's all chesed. He loves God. That's his only mode. I love, 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 love. It's nice, but it's one color.
And it's bland.
It's called gavan lavan. So if you only love God, you're white. You're a white color, but it's plain. You know, white is not so beautiful. And that's Ava HaTivis, every Jew naturally loves God. That's why he has a white. Shu gavan ein ruchav. Shemitzat atzmius. Turn the page. We're just going to finish this side here. Once you have a love to God, 72, it's not enough to have a love, because love is white. And white is not so beautiful on its own. So you have to now mix another color, which is red, which is called small doche b'chinat yira. Gavana Adam b'chinas gvura, which is Avram Avi Yitzchak Yitzchak. Means like this: when you have such a strong love to Hashem, and you love Hashem, you love Hashem, you love Hashem, you love Hashem, that's white. I have to now mix in a new color called red, which is yira, respect, awe. Because love without awe is no good. Same thing in marriage.
Right.
The most important part of marriage is not love.
Respect.
It's respect. Respect means I'm staying away. I'm respecting your space. I have respect for you. So love is white. Yira, respect, is red. However, there's one more color, which is turquoise. Gavin Shlishi. The third color, B'chinas Hayarak, Shel Memutza. That's the Memutza means the Memutza. The
average.
That makes. Oh wow! Memutza. Ben Shnei Gavin Havchim, which is Midase Shel Yaakov, Shemidas Harachamim, Lo'er Rachamim Al Nafshe Beroise Gdulas Hashem Yizvarech, V'Yizbayna B'Ridus Nafshe V'Yiga Rama, V'Yidei Ze Yigachmer Rachamav, Asher Rachmanos Humida Metzutzas V'Chesed Gvura, Kima Sheyichmer Rachamav V'Yicholiv V'Yizeh V'Chenes Gvura, V'Makama Kiv'Chesed. Rachmanos is in between love and Gevura. Why? What's Rachmanut? Rachmanut says, I think about, wow, I'm so far from Hashem. my neshama was so high and came down to this low body. And I just have mercy on my neshama. I just want to get out of here. I want to connect to Hashem. So the Rachmanut has two things in it. It has a love in it that you want to get out and connect to Hashem. And the other hand, it makes me feel that I'm so far from Hashem. So it has a little yirah, which is the distance. And it has a little love, which is, let me connect to Hashem. So that's Yaakov. Yaakov was the
Tiferet.
in between, the memutza,
Right.
that brings them both together. So he ends off, Mida achas ene yafa. Having just love is no good. But when you have all the midot, then you consider it complete. Now guess what? In Shmona Esrei, who made Shmona Esrei?
Oh, yeah.
Who put together Shmona Esrei? Tfilot, Avot Tiknun. Who made the Shmona Esrei? Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. You know why? Because in Shmona Esrei we have all three. We have love for Hashem, we have respect, and Rachmanut. Hakel, Hagadol, Gibor, and Nora. Gadol is Chesed, love. Gibor is Gvura, Nora.
Yirah.
And we say Elokei Abraham, Elokei Yitzchak, and Elokei Yaakov. Love and awe, respect, and Rachmanut. All three together. That's why Shmona Esrei is a multicolor. Shmona Esrei has everything in it. There's sometimes in Shmona Esrei we say B'chesed u'v'rachamim. Then we say in Shmona Esrei Ohev. Then we say in Shmona Esrei Ato Gibor. What's Gibor? Gibor, no, Gvura. Mechayim Eisim. Then we have Ta'aker, Teshaber, Utmager. We have a multicolor. That's Jewish people. We're multicolored.
So when God says Inach Yafa Ra'ayati, He means that all that stuff that
The Jewish people,
all the colors that He just
we Jews are beautiful because we're multicolor, and we sustain Hashem. Because of us, Hashem continues to give life here. We're God's friend because we love Hashem. And we have two types of love. One is external and one that goes in our hearts. And now we could continue bringing Hashem to want to continue being a king and want to give energy to the world and make this world a healthy world.
You should say what you tell your wife.
Amen.
Amen.
You can tell your wife Inach Yafa Ra'ayati.
But you are Hashem's wife. Did you know that?
I know that. I know, we all.
I just want to end off, Zevi, we're going to stop it. Just want to end off. Well, just one end off. When we say the tikkun in the night of Shavuot, there's certain parts that we say more than we should. So there's a section called Eshet Chayo Meyimtza V'Rachok Mibim. What we say the whole Eshet Chayo. Why do we say the whole Eshet Chayo? Because since Matan Torah, when Hashem gave the Torah, was the wedding of Hashem and the Jewish people. So the whole Eshet Chayil is about the Jewish people.
He was singing it to us.
To us.
Right.
But the word Chayil is like Chayal. The word Chayal, Eshet Chayil is like Chayal, no? Same word, Chayal. Chayil.
לעשות חי.
Yes, strength, Chayal. But the word Chayal is Chet Yud Lamed. How much is Chet Yud Lamed? The Gemara 48, okay? Why is a soldier and Chayil and Chayal 48? So it says in the Torah. After we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, what do we say quietly? Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto L'Olam. We want to bring Hashem into this world. In the word Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto L'Olam has 24 letters. Baruch Shem Kavod. We say in the morning and at night. 24 and 24 is Eshet Chayo Miyimtza. What kind of beautiful Jews? They say Shema in the morning and they say Shema at night, and they bring me down to this world. Without them, there's no world and there's no world to be.
Also,
בגלל זה השם בחר בנו.
The brain, 48. No. Rabbi Hanani, Melech Hashem, Melech Hashem, Melech Hashem, Melech Hashem,